Okay, okay. Huh? So good morning, gang. Good morning. So it's going to be a bit noisy. Not first. We've got to finish clearing this. First I've got to finish the foam. I've got to finish cutting the foam first, and then it's going to be noisy works. Goodbye, Sin Shepherd. You saw that. That was Do you recognize what they were? You've seen them before. Is that going to get us close enough? Okay. Okay, good morning, gang. Good morning, gang. Yeah, so exactly. Last night I was doing sizing last night. A long sizing session last night. Didn't finish till, I don't know, midnight 30 or something. But after I'd finished brushing the sizing on each batch of paper, I got to wait 30, 35 minutes, 40 before it hangs up. So I took those Sinchafida prints that I got last week from Yahoo Auctions. I showed them to you last week. They were on terrible backing paper, on really moldy backing paper. So I had extra time last night while I was sizing, so I floated them all. Part of doing the sizing is you've got this bin full of hot water. So I floated them. I just dumped them all in the hot water, let them float for 15, 20, 25 minutes. And then they just came apart. They just floated away from their backing paper. They just float straight off. The backing paper was weak, and the prints themselves are made on good strong washi. So they just floated away. Then I didn't press them. I put them between drying boards last night. And what I'll do is I've got a little empty album waiting for them. I'll put them in the album and show them to you when we get them finished. So, like I had time to fool around with that last night. They look beautiful. This is the cool thing about these prints, though. I should be careful what I say here, because I don't want people trying this by themselves. I took all these prints that were made maybe about 70 years ago or so, and I simply dumped them in hot water, and they're okay. There is no bleeding of the pigment whatsoever. But this isn't the general rule. Please don't take that to think that you can take any Japanese print and just throw it in hot water. That's not the case. It all depends on the kind of pigments that are used and the kind of paper that is used. It's case by case, and if you don't know what you're doing, please don't try that. But for myself, because I knew the paper, I knew the pigments, I knew how these were made, I knew it was safe to put them in warm water. But it's quite possible with some random print that you've got, specifically certainly Meiji era prints to a large extent, the red and purple color will sometimes bleed. So it's possible you've got prints, you put them in hot water, they're destroyed. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. These came out very nice. Very nice. We'll show them later. Anyway, I gotta get to work. Okay, what we're doing, for those of you who just joined, this is the final color block in the series for the microwave print, the Print Party reproduction of the Great Wave. And this is the block that will be used to print the dark black gradation behind the mountain. If you think back to the original Great Wave image, the mountain has a black gradation behind it, and that means the foam has to be carved out of that block, even up above the area where the black is going to show. And that's what's happening here this morning. I've got to carve out this foam. And I'm keeping a reference here of the block from the other sky block, so that I can try and get them to look similar. There's this group of three here. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be this group. I realized I failed in one thing yesterday. I was really kind of busy near the beginning of the stream. I was doing these transfer sheets. It was really, really important to focus and try and get them lined up exactly properly. So I didn't really have much time to chat and to look at what was going on in the stream. And it was my daughter, I guess. And my mother is on the stream many days. She's probably here right now this morning. But yesterday, I hadn't known what was happening, but she had a visit from my daughter and a new granddaughter. So it was too bad. They should have taken more chance to introduce themselves, because we had 4 generations of the Bull family on the stream yesterday, or at least in the chat. My mother, myself, my daughter, and her new baby. So 4 of us, 4 generations of us were here in yesterday's chat, and we didn't. I didn't really make that clear yesterday. So there can't be too many times that happens on the whole Twitch channel, on the whole Twitch system. 4 generations of people in one conversation. I'm not a grandpa now. I've been a grandpa for 14 years. I've got 3 grandchildren. I think they're 14, 12, and 3 months. I'm not just a grandpa. I've been a grandpa for ages. In fact, when you think about it, my oldest grandson now, I think he's 14, Alex. And 14, is old enough to sort of have an accident with a girlfriend maybe. Who knows? I could be a great-grandfather any time now. That would make my mother a great-great-grandmother. My God. She's probably fainting at the very thought of that. Lots of questions here. Hi. How did I know what kind of pigments I was dealing with? Oh, you mean the Senchafta stuff? Yeah, it's so, I know, what can I say about those Senchafta pigments? Somebody's asking about the pigments, I don't know what to say in words. Simply, I know, I can see it. I know what kind of pigments they use to print it. I know what kind of paper it is. I mean, they're very similar to our own prints. We're still working in the same tradition with the same materials, So we have a lot of familiarity with that stuff. And I know what we can do with water and what will happen and what won't happen. And I don't know, I can't give any lesson for you on what to do. All I can say is if you don't know, then just don't even think about washing a print, if you don't know what you're doing. It's a silly thing to do. There was a friend of mine a while back, a gentleman in California who's a print collector. And I talked about this summer. It wasn't on live online. I think I had one of my web blog pages on. He was talking about how I washed some prints. And he was really angry at me. He said, don't do that. Don't make people think that you can do this. Otherwise they'll start washing their own prints. They'll start taking the backing paper off. They'll start trying to do their own maintenance. They will destroy prints. So he was upset that I was even talking about such a thing. Such a thing should only be left for the experts, and blah, 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 And whatever, maybe he has a point. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. In some cases, these prints are really delicate, and in some places they're not delicate. Is anybody that silly who has a rare and expensive print? Nobody's silly enough to try and wash it by themselves, I hope. So I don't know. Maybe he's right, and I shouldn't talk about such things. Maybe one of you now is going to get the idea I could wash my prints and go destroy something. Quite possible, I guess. something in the question box. It's been a while since we've had that. People seem to have forgotten about it. Question in the question box. Question in the box. Let's have a look here. Twitch questions. Oh, there's two. Oh, one from a couple of days ago. Oops. Okay, a couple of questions. Technical stuff. Question number 1. Do I use a harder or softer barren for the embossing? I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Embossing, you mean that part where I do when I put the people's names on the prints, you mean? In that case, we treat it as though it was just calligraphy itself. So I'd use a barren that was designed for small scale work. We have basically two kinds of barrens. To simplify, we have what's called a beta barren for printing beta, wide areas of flat color. And we have a sumi barren, which we call sumi, which we use for printing delicate stuff, calligraphy or whatever. So when I do that embossing of the names on the prints, I use the barren for the lighter work. It doesn't need power for wide areas. So basically the barren itself has tinier bumps. Instead of big bumps, it has smaller, tinier bumps. That's what we would use for doing that, the embossing of the name on the prints. Because there's no wide flat areas. The other question, I have a block that uses light green entirely. Oh, good morning, sir. How you doing? I want to do a light blue bokashi on the same block. Can I do that, or need to carve another block so different colors? Interesting. Okay, so the basic thing is going to be light green. For example, area of grass or something, or sky, whatever. Then one area is going to have a blue gradation on it. You can certainly do it. What you might find is, say you make your 10 copies, 20 copies, whatever, the light green, then go ahead and put your blue gradation on it, and then when you come back next week to make more copies of the light green, that block is going to be stained with the blue. So that may affect the tint on your green in the future, because you can't wash a block so perfectly that all the color disappears. So I'm not really sure what to say. I can't give you an absolute that the blue will never stain the green. If you're working with fairly, not too many large quantities, if you're doing a dozen or so, you can do that blue gradation and quickly get to the sink and wash that block off, scrub, so that the blue is basically gone. But if you're going to do like an edition of 100 copies, you've got your 100 greens, then you do your 100 blues, and that block is going to really get stained with the blue. And when you come back to do your green later on, even though you've washed it, that block will be slightly tinted. There's no easy way around it. If you absolutely wanted to keep those two colors totally separated, never mixing again, you'd need another block. You can get away with doing a few test copies, it doesn't stain it permanently, as long as you wash quickly. But if you're doing an edition or something with a whole bunch of copies, then that block gets pretty much permanently stained. Also, I guess too, I'm speaking of cherry wood. I don't know what kind of wood you're using too. A softer wood like a Sheena plywood or something. I think that gets stained even more easily because the water soaks in so much more. I don't have too much experience there. Okay, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think that's all the foam on this block here. Let me zoom. Oh, I'm already zoomed out. I think that's all the foam. Let me do a double check here. I think that's it. It's going to be fun. Alright, it's going to get noisy now. Time to get noisy. Have I missed a question? It seems I've missed a question. I don't know. Again, it's so easy to make the mistake and hit the chisel into the wrong area, which one might help and keep. Whenever there's an image and nothing, your brain wants to say cut away nothing and leave the image, but this block is the other way around. And so many times I've made that mistake. So what I'm going to do here, just to help myself, make sure this is no, out, out, out. Even that's out on this block. Out. You might think that's being overprotected, but it just so many times I've made the same mistake. Okay, here we go. Marubatsune, so in Japanese. Okay, let's do this. Camera away from the bench. Good. Bench in place. Microphone a little bit more away from the hammer. crows are angry out there. Today's garbage day. I know yesterday, Thursday night, put out the garbage in this area for Friday morning is the pickup. So the crows have been happy, I think. That's close. Maybe they're complaining about my noise. I haven't heard any noise from up on the ceiling since yesterday. I really don't know what to think now about that. I thought our problem was over, but I guess not. But I haven't heard a peep since yesterday morning. You guys have good chat. Okay, no problem. Sounds if the birds... I've got my windows open here, you know. I'm in the back room of our building. There's no alley. The buildings were... over the years things have changed. When the buildings were built in this specific area after the war, the rules at that time allowed you to use 100% of your footprint. So the buildings were stuck together, bang, 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 bang. There was no space between them whatsoever. The rules are now different. It's got to be about 1 meter between structures in this area where we are. So as each person, each landowner rebuilds his building, he has to pull it back in by 1/2 meter. And as it happens, both of the ones behind us have been rebuilt. So there's 1/2 meter or so of open space behind us there. When we rebuild, we will also have to pull back. When we rebuild, it's not my building, but whatever. And there's lots of windows in our building that don't go anywhere. The window right behind me, the thing you see right behind me, the shoji screen, it's fake. When this building went up, there was no structure next to us, or the structure next to us was lower than this. So they put a window here. Time went by, that structure was rebuilt higher, and it used the space right here. So the next building is right, like within, it's just right there. It's behind this screen. What used to be a window is now just an open space that I can see the building next door. They just built right up to it. Bang. You got a window there, guy? Sorry, it's gone. That must be, I think, the garbage man, right? It's Friday morning. Yes, you can hear the crusher. Maybe that's what the crows were doing there the last few minutes before that garbage arrived. There are people who, knowing the garbage time, put their garbage out just the last few minutes before the truck arrives. So that could be what the crows were up to. think I heard the door downstairs. It could be Ishikawa-san. She's coming early this morning, I think. Not sure, I guess not. No, it's both, thin walls, neighbors and stuff. It's all shops, but they all have people living upstairs. This is a commercial neighborhood, but there's people living here. This building I live here, the building next to me, Nishinomisan, the Oyster Shack is downstairs. Upstairs is the house, the family. The building next to that, the theater upstairs, there's people living. The hotel across the street, it's a 6-story hotel on the same street. Next to that is the little bag lady, a lady who makes bags, and she lives upstairs. Next to that's a real estate empty. Next to that is a family who run a bar. They live upstairs. So this whole street is full of people living here. It's a commercial district, but it's also a neighborhood. So am I being obnoxious with my banging? I don't think so. For one thing, the general rules about noise in a city neighborhood like this are 8 to 8. You don't run power tools and do specifically noisy things after 8 in the evening or before 8 in the morning. Now, those rules are not always obeyed by everybody. But what I'm doing here now, my normal work job at 8 o'clock in the morning, is not against the custom at all. And I wouldn't actually do this if there was somebody who was, trying to actually sleep right there outside this window. The specific buildings that back up to me, the little French bistro, that's empty, it's abandoned. Yoshikami, the restaurant, there's nobody sleeping there, they're just getting their soup ready. Next door is the antique shop, he doesn't sleep there, he won't be there till 10 in the morning. I'm actually okay. The building's right there outside my window. There's nobody actually living or sleeping there. No, the hotel across the street, there's no way they can hear what I'm doing. There's nobody living in the kimono shop next to me. I'm actually in a good position here. chat here. Oh, Grandma's here. Mom's here. Good morning. How you doing? Sorry not to have more chance to chat with you yesterday. You know, you guys came on when you were there with Clara. Just at the point where I was doing difficult work, I had to try and watch what was going on. So. Proud grandma. No, wait a minute. Great grandmother. Okay. For those of you who don't know, the lady that's just on the chat here, the one that says Bet Bull, this is my mother, who is a grandmother to my children, of course. Happy to have her taking part of the chat here, you know. There can't be too many grandmothers involved in Twitch these days, I don't think. I don't know. Who knows? Also, just to recap too, for those who don't know, we have our mascot here on our channel. The mascot who the chat has christened Fridge years ago. This is a present from Grandma. Grandma here, Bet Bull on the chat. She's the one who sent us our mascot. Mascot courtesy Bet Bull. So I gotta see the chat here alongside. The socks are here somewhere. I haven't got them on. They're too warm. Do we need a recap? We also have special service from Grandma. Owl socks sent special delivery across the Pacific Ocean. These were also a present from Grandma here. Refrigerator's mother. I'm not on the... Gotta get the camera. Sorry. What's the date on that? Is that today? Oh, I missed it. Hang on, I better check that. Party reservation. No, it's for March. Wait, March? March next year. God. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think what we'll do here now, what I'm supposed to do at this point, I'm supposed to go around the whole block. You know, you see what I'm doing. I'm clearing the wide areas. I've cleared here, I've cleared here. I should also clear all this out. But it's just endless hammering. I've only got like whatever half an hour left on the stream or something, or 40 minutes. So I'll switch. I'll put these chisels away for a minute, even though I should, if I had nothing else going on, I would go all the way around. And I'll switch to a quieter job. The other job is clearing out the in-between side. So just to make this stream a bit more livable and less frenetically smashing sounds, I'll just split my job. Instead of doing A, and then B, I'll do A, B, and then go back to A later on, either in tomorrow's stream or some other time. So let me just switch here, even though technically I should keep going. Let me switch back to do a quieter work here. That way I can hear what's going on in the chat and whatever. So let's put away the noisy tools for a minute and get back to some quieter work. I'll zoom in a little bit maybe. Makes sense, I think, instead of just frantically smashing all the time. A 90-minute stream of just hammering is no fun for anybody. I see black marks there which mean a question to me. Don't forget to zoom. I'm not sure how close I can zoom here. Don't forget to move the mic back down. Does it make a difference? Down, 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 down. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Height. Here we go. With my Twitch stream, every block is a TV block. I know. I felt that yesterday quite a bit. You know, when we were doing that, when I was doing that transfer yesterday, trying to make the transfer sheet for this block, it was really super critical. Now, I had trouble getting it right exactly in the corner there. You saw me, I had to recut one of the corners here. It was just when my daughter came online and stuff like that, and I was thinking, yeah, I want to concentrate. So sometimes, yeah, it's a bit, what I should do when it's difficult work or something, I should totally, absolutely forget the stream. Just ignore you guys. You're just a bunch of people who are spending some time watching for a few minutes. If I screw something up because of that, it's not right. But it's not easy to do. Once you've started a broadcast and once you're doing it and there's people sitting there, you want to try and do it sort of properly, make them feel that something's going on, and But yeah, every block is not a TV block, but every block becomes a TV block. Whatever, I'm in this, so it doesn't really matter. It's okay. The other thing now too is because these are going up to YouTube because of the fan page there. Every single gesture I make, how did he hold that chisel? Is somebody going to look at this and I don't know, I don't think there'd be too many workmen in the world who would want every single stroke they make and everything they do to be preserved for posterity, Even a plumber or something, a guy doing, he's under the sink there, he's going to bang something sometimes. Does he want every job you do and every stroke you make and every installation you do to be preserved for posterity, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I don't know. I don't care much. I guess whatever. I do what I do, and if later on, hundreds of years now, somebody looks at it and thinks, oh my God, that guy was so bad at this, is that the best he could do? Look at this. Couldn't he carve that a bit more smoothly, Whatever. I am who I am. We are what we are, and just let it go. You can imagine, just for example, I don't know who this has happened, but we're sort of starting a bit of a renaissance in woodblock printmaking now. It's been happening over the past few years. Not all just because of me, but because in general, the world is understanding that it's a cool thing and more people are making woodblock prints. So imagine that it actually gets going. It really takes off, and over the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, a whole lot of people do this. Now, what that means is that the general level is going to climb and climb and climb. The level of competence, the level of ability and skills is going to climb. So it could be that, just jump ahead 50 years or something, there are a whole bunch of really, really competent, skilled carvers all over the place working at this field. Those guys look back at these ancient YouTube videos of Dave in 2018 doing this and thinking, my God, that guy was hopeless. He's no good at this. He's just fumbling around all over the place, Because compared with that new improved skill level that becomes the new normal, I'll be a turkey. I just hope maybe they can be a little bit forgiving. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Just let it go. Carve. That would be good news. If the skill levels really do climb to the level where my own skill becomes an incompetent joke, that would be a really good thing, not a bad thing. So. Actually, we talked about that. And if you've read that thing that I wrote a few years ago, the future plan for Mokuhankan in the future, it's on our website, Mokuhankan in the year XXX, whatever. I semi-joked about it, and maybe it's becoming real. I joked about it, that we'd have a sign in our workshop that was visible to all the young printers and young carvers who were here to work and to learn, you know. And the sign is going to read something like, I forget what I said when I wrote that thing. It's something like, it is the goal of every young worker here to make David into the least competent craftsman in the building, or something like that, you know. This must be Cameron. There's no HM today.
Yes, it is.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning.
I forgot to mention something yesterday, you know. Before both you and HM got here, we had an episode, huge noise from above my head.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, as in noise enough that the people on the stream heard it. Rats running back and forth, or a rat running back and forth. Something was running back and forth up on that ceiling. I forgot to mention it yesterday in all the related because of daytime.
Something's back?
Either something's back or there's still one left alive in its final gasp. I have no idea.
That's so bizarre because they've been quiet.
It's been, when did we do that renovation? It's nearly 2 months back.
Yeah, I think it was March.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So the consensus was sort of, man, there must be another hole. You know,
Yeah.
the rats are up there. So I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
I forgot to mention yesterday, so I'll remember it now. Yeah, so. Nothing this morning, not a peep.
That's good. We punched the ceiling a couple times.
No, I haven't done anything. You know, I mean, I'm making my own noise. I was persuading this morning for a whole bunch of times. So.
How are things this morning?
Good. The stream is quite chatty. I haven't really seen a lot of it. I was working with a persuader, so I didn't see a whole lot of it. You can take it over by all means. There's it's steadily. We were visiting.
Remove the refrigerator.
Oh no, my mother dropped by again. She may still be here. So
fun.
we were introducing her that she's the lady who sent our mascot and stuff like that. So,
That's so fun.
But okay.
Destroy the...
Yep, seems okay. And the conversation just now, I don't know if there's been a reaction to it or not. I don't know. I did something, whatever, I slipped with a chisel or something. I was feeling like a jerk about this, and feeling that if woodblock printmaking really does sort of take off a bit more, and more people are doing it as is happening right now, project that forward 5 more years, 10 more years, 20 more years, the general skill level, the general skill set of these people is going to climb and climb and climb.
Yeah.
This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing.
Isn't it a
But
good thing?
okay, but okay. Roll forward 10 years, 20 years. For all these people who are really good carvers, really good printers, they've got these archived videos that people are putting of me in my Twitch stream. Remember, every minute is now archived. Every minute of this work.
Yeah.
Not just the ones that I want to show how good I am, but every single minute of fumbling around and doing it.
Yep.
And that 20 carver 20 years in the future, I was going to say, oh my God, this guy Bull, who we thought was such a god, he's such a klutz.
Such a klutz.
No, really, I am not, you know, God's gift to carving. I'm just bashing my way through all this, you know.
Yeah.
So I have very mixed feelings about this. It's, as we were just saying, the future Mokuhankan, the plan we wrote, that book, it's got that thing on the wall that says, it is the aim of every young craftsman here to make David the worst craftsman in the building, you know, by virtue of they've climbed higher than me.
Not.
Yeah. So I don't know, you know. Somebody, I think it started by somebody said, this is your TV block. You know, for me, every block is a TV block now, you know. So.
And you've got to start producing. Making prints out of it. Because usually those TV blocks, they never ended up turning into a print,
of course not, because they're no good. They're bashed and chipped and stopped and started and, you know.
Good morning, everyone.
Anyway, that's where the thread came from. I don't know what they're talking about. If they've picked up on this or not, I don't know. But
is it possible to buy our prints? Yes. Someone help us out. I think someone knows a faster robot link than I do. Choose one of those. There it is. Shop. Don't worry, Dave. History will be fair to you.
I don't know. I hope it will be honest to me. I mean, you know, well, it will be because history's there, you know. But absolutely, you know, people will look at, my God, he just wasn't actually that good at this, which in a technical sense is true. Remember, I'm a lefty using the tool in the wrong way. So in a purely technical sense, I'm not that good at this. What I'm good at is being stubborn and pushing through and making stuff and, you know, building this whole structure. but in a purely technical sense, right now here on this piece of wood, Dave doing this, he's not all that good at this. You know.
Oh, this is interesting. DGC 2002 says, I'm a software developer, and I'm extremely thankful for every video of a well-known software developer actually working as they would normally. It reminds me that they're human too. If all they did was put up their highlight reels, it would be demotivating. So, because then all they see is, oh, this is the most amazing thing that I've developed or carved.
All right, okay, but that's up to us as consumers. When we watch the Olympics, we're
Yeah.
seeing these superstars jump higher and run faster and all that stuff. But of course, all of us, we know what those people did to get there. You know, the marathon runner who just ran a marathon every day,
runs,
whatever.
yeah.
So we sort of do know that in an intellectual sense, that he's talking about that guy's highlight reel. That's what we see when we see the Olympics. You know? And I think we all understand that. What I'm a little bit the other way around here is that all we're seeing is the other side of it. You know?
Yeah.
There is no highlight reel here. There's just me just bashing away at this, you know. So.
Oh, there's a highlight reel. If you look at all the products available.
Yeah. So
you
they
can see the prints.
Yeah,
and
the backstory. So exactly. So the track record. You know.
Yeah.
Am I on? I can't see anymore. So.
Yeah, you're off. For some reason, the white balance is funky today. You look very purple and blue on the camera.
I don't want to really muck with it.
No.
It may have, you know, it's one of those touch screens that every time I do something to move it, it touches some funny place, you know. It is.
Yeah.
The white balance is set for something instead of being auto. Do I dare touch this?
Good luck, if you want to.
Oh, WT is not here. This is the light. I got a choice. Is that showing on the screen there?
Nope.
I've got a choice between intelligent auto and manual. And it's set for intelligent auto. So honestly speaking, at the moment, I think I'm just going to leave
That's
it.
the safest way. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
And also the touchscreen is so detailed. There's 3 icons in a row, and my finger hits all 3 at the same time.
Yeah. It's a small screen with a lot of buttons on it, so they all can be touched by the same digit. Huh.
You see, I mean, there's the IA button, and below that there's
They're
this
saying
thing
you're
with
just
a light.
cold. That's why you're purple.
I can't. Anyway,
That's okay. Sorry.
there's things to worry about and there's things not to worry about.
Yep.
I think we can leave that one at the moment.
Yeah.
Fix it in post.
Yep. That's up to you, whoever's uploading this one. You've gotta just warm the whole thing up. Looks like you've got hypothermia. If future carvers manage to find your old stream footage, they'll likely think it's impressive for the time. Depending on how far in the future you're thinking, generally craftsmen look back on ancient craftsmen and admire their techniques for the technology and tools that were available to them at the time. Just like you look back at the designs and the work of the old craftsmen, I think, and
Yeah, I guess so.
you have respect for their work. So.
The thing is, remember, it's not like I can be praised, you know, that was the best ability of using this old ancient tool, because the other guys are going to be using the same tool. And Midas-san and the carvers of Edo-time used the same tool. So it's not like I'm hamstrung because I'm using an old technology that will be developed better later on.
True.
It's the other way around, you know. So, okay, I get it, you know, I get the idea. But I don't think it's quite so applicable here, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we showed that Hasui video a while ago with Midas-san carving, you know, and it's just X minutes of Midas-san carving.
Yeah.
And it's just they're letting us see what they want us to see, you know. And Midas-san looks pretty good and looks pretty fast.
Yeah.
Was it like that all the time? I don't know. I guess so. I guess so. No, I'm not too worried about it. I think people would appreciate the honesty and open approach and would hopefully get the idea, okay, this guy really had nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, whatever. Or actually, I am hiding stuff, but I don't really let you know about that. So.
Hiding it very well. So what are these David Bowie prints? Someone brought them up.
Right.
saying-
It's a company, I think, it's one of the giant corporations, like Mitsui Corporation, one of their trading companies or something, got onto this idea. This is not the first one they've done.
Right.
I think the first one that particular group did was the group of prints based on the rock band Kiss.
Oh,
These guys
yes,
are doing
I did
basically
see that.
musical themes. There must be some connection.
Yeah.
And they've hired a young Japanese designer. I think his name was Ishikawa. I'm not really quite sure. I
Okay.
can't remember it exactly. And they're licensed. They've got a license from the specific people who own these property rights or
Mm.
intellectual rights, whatever.
Yeah.
And they've hired people from the Japanese, the Craftsmen's Association here.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes people out there get the idea that Dave is the only game left in town and that we are the
Yeah.
last man standing in woodblock printmaking.
Not quite.
No, there's about somewhere around 40 people. I don't know how many because I
Mm.
don't know how many are retired, how many are active, how many are dead. There's about 40 or so people here. It's still doing stuff like doing carving of a sort or doing printing of a sort. There's a Craftsmen's Association. For the most part, their work is doing things for tourists, making the
Yeah.
prints that appear in the tourist shops on the museums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But every now and then, and especially in recent years after the pop culture thing was ignited by Jed Henry, every now and then somebody has proposed a program and they've done it. And there's now about 10 or so now. There's the Bowie thing, the Kiss, there's the Doraemon project, Ghost in the Shell. It's
Yeah.
a bunch of these modern pop culture things that have been transformed into woodblock prints.
Yeah.
They're being carved for the most part by Sekioka-san or Watanabe-san and printed by various people from the Craftsmen's Association.
Hmm.
And I'm part of that group actually legally. I'm in the association, but I'm not part of it. I don't share the work from them, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And my disappointment to see those, I have mixed feelings. I'm happy to see now that there's lots of new woodblock projects have come alive. It's great.
Yeah.
Jed's original inspiration has really, really helped wake up this woodblock world
Industry,
here.
yeah.
Absolutely. Not my inspiration, it's Jed's inspiration.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me disappointed about it is a couple of things. The general level of competence I see on those prints is, I got to be careful, but it's not so good. That Bowie one actually looks not so bad. The one they are showing on the internet.
Yeah.
And we saw some of the Kiss prints in real life, and oh my God, the one that was scanned for the internet looked beautiful, but
Yeah.
it was just printed like crap. The one that a customer came in and showed me.
Oh no.
So they are really not doing this in a really ethical way, because there's no single publisher in charge of this who knows woodblock printmaking. It's a corporation who's got the license and sent it out to the craftsmen and do this.
So they want them as fast as they can.
So there's nobody who has got the publisher's eye to control the quality on this. So. And the other thing that
Reassurance.
disappoints me in it is they're doing it as limited editions, high-end art. That Davy Bowie thing is what? It's $1,000 for each one.
Someone's saying the Iron Maiden print in the same series of rock bands is $966 right now.
Yeah,
The
whatever.
price someone found.
And the other thing is they're calling them limited editions, but absolutely, and I've got to be careful because I could be legally liable for this, but we have seen multiple editions produced with the same numbers. They're pretending they're limited editions, and then when the 100 are gone, they want more orders, so they just keep making them. That Hatsune Miku one,
Yeah.
it's on the website. They did, I think it was 100 or 200, I forget, I'm sorry. They did their first edition of whatever it was, 100 or 200. Then X months later, here they go again. The second limited edition of Hatsune Miku prints. They're just going to reset the number back to 1 and go up to 200. On the website, it says somewhere in small tiny print, this is the second edition of 200. And now they're now in the third. If you go to their website, they're now in the third group. So they're pretending these are limited editions, but they're not. They're just ramming them out, writing a number on it that doesn't mean anything at all. It's intellectually dishonest and perhaps legally dishonest. I don't know. But the whole thing is it's not ukiyo-e. The point about ukiyo-e was cheap stuff, print it, have fun, images that people want to see, and blow it out and make some sausages, But high quality sausages.
High quality.
And they don't get this. They don't grok this. And it's fine. The world's a big world. There's room for lots of different people to do lots of different things. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a bit frustrating for me that
Yeah.
every single one of those projects, every single one with no exception, has gone this route. Limited edition, high-end, pay me $500 to do
Until we
this.
run out, then it's the second limited edition.
Yeah, whatever. That's a different story. But they're trying to $500 for that. Give me a break.
Yeah.
And you want to bet how much of that money is getting out of the craftsman? Ha ha ha! Whatever. Next to nothing, of course.
Historia says, I don't know about illegal, but definitely immoral. Doing it that way. Interesting.
Well, the whole whatever, the whole limited edition market. You go and buy a Salvador Dali limited edition. It's just totally a joke, whatever. We will never touch that. That's why, because it's an ethical morass. It makes no sense. Woodblock prints, the point of a woodblock print is to make a bunch of them. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Limited edition, it's an oxymoron. Don't get me started. Too late.
Too late.
It's the 15th today, sir, right? So it's all
Yes.
going to be subscription billing and stuff like that?
Yep.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Or actually, it's all teed up. Is it? You sent
It
the labels
is,
and
yeah.
stuff
I'm just
last
going to
night?
send the emails. Someone already found one. One of the Davids. He's always fast.
Oh, I saw. Also, I got an email. Maybe you got a copy, or I got a copy. Whatever. Somebody is it in England? He got dinged by customs again, so
Again.
he's
Yeah.
decided to quit. And
Yeah.
he's actually angry at us, or angry at me,
Yeah.
not to help him with this or something. I'm not sure what I can do when when a package gets stopped by customs in a foreign country. That's not something that I can control or have any
Yeah.
control over whatsoever.
We don't know the customs laws in every country.
Yeah, I know. We send the subscription prints in every way. We try and get them as letters, so they don't get dinged as packages.
Right.
But they do get stopped sometimes, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I feel responsibility for this. I don't know. When you buy something from an overseas country and it gets stopped by customs as it comes into your country, is the supplier at fault? I don't know. Anyway, I think he's quit. If I read it correctly, you'll probably see it this morning.
Yeah. Oh, Kantar says, I got my Magician and Sanjapada today.
Eh?
So-
Already? Wait.
Yeah.
That was just like yesterday.
That
What?
was so fast.
What?
I think it was early late last week, so it's been almost a week, but that's really fast.
So it'll be like a first-class letter, though. Those little.
Yeah.
Really?
Glad it arrived.
I just wish we could sort of guarantee that. We can't, because
Yeah.
it doesn't always work like that. So
He says, yeah, I was surprised. And we all are.
Mokohankan, we try harder.
Yeah.
And then in the same mail, we've got a letter from a customer who's quitting because of the postal service.
Because of the postal service, yes. Bad. Kevin B 1976 asks, Dave, you ever thought about having a mustache like Salvador Dali?
Whatever, the stuff that grows on my face is not. No, yeah, literally. The stuff that grows on my face is what grows on my face. I don't culture this. I don't take care of this. My hair, everything. I don't do this stuff. It's just what comes out. And this is absolutely, probably totally pretentious. I would look at a guy like Dali and say, that little moustache thing he's done, that's totally, absolutely pretentious. He's,
Twirled it.
thinking about this and twirling this and doing this. And I'm going to say, I don't want to be pretentious. So stuff comes out of my face, I can't help it, so I just leave it. But that's just as pretentious in its own way, But no, I don't. I couldn't get that morning routine of getting up and shaving and all that stuff and doing this. I can't bear that. I just can't bear that. For me, it's just whenever it gets in my eyes and it's totally in the way and I can't function anymore, that's when I get driven to the barber shop.
Yeah.
But in its own way, that's just as pretentious as what Dali was doing, I guess, The Steve Jobs, one pair of jeans and one T-shirt, and I don't have to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's totally pretentious, even though it's the antithesis of being fashionable,
Yeah.
We each choose our pretensions, and this is mine, to be as non-pretentious as I can.
That's funny.
No, I don't do fashion, including clothes and including grooming. I don't do fashion. I don't do grooming.
Yeah.
I try and keep clean. I had a shower this morning.
Yeah.
I try and keep clean, and that's
Yeah.
the extent of my. I try and keep clean and healthy.
Yeah.
Brush my teeth cleaning, all that stuff, and
Yeah.
that's the extent of it for me.
Yeah. Jumping back a little bit, Kantar had a question. Did you ever figure out what to do with the Yoshida Hiroshi prints?
No, they're sitting there right there in that folder, waiting for me to sort of get time.
Okay.
So
Next question.
I'm sorry. Next question. That's all there is. Nemabi-san wrote me, said Dave. Dave.
どうしたんですか?
And I haven't even replied.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what to
Yeah.
say. Part of me is, I was procrastinating a little bit because I wanted to see what happened out with the other people. Fuji Artist puts them up, and I was kind of waiting to see what kind of prices did they get and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because I have no idea what we're doing on this.
Yeah.
And if the market itself starts to choose what's happening, that gives me a bit of a guideline on where to start.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to run auctions here. We have no auctions set up at Mokuhankan, and I don't want to dump those on eBay.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping, what I would like to do is, once the market has decided what fair
What they
prices
go
are for those
yeah.
are, just put them on the website at that fair price and leave it.
Yeah.
So I'm half procrastinating for time reasons and half procrastinating just to see what happens.
And gathering data.
But having said that, I haven't gathered any data. So
Waiting for data to be generated so that it can be
yeah,
gathered.
but
so.
does Fuji Art show the price of their finished auctions? I don't know. I haven't even looked at it.
Then
Yes, that's the backstory on that one. So yeah.
Koringami also asks, do you have an artist or inspirational person that you would like to immortalize or put into a woodblock print? Are there any designs you would like to do?
No, I have no such. Nothing. I would never think of such a question. I'm not actually sure what it means. You mean?
Hmm.
You mean somebody who isn't in woodblock already? You mean? Or,
Yeah, I guess so. Like, carve one of Hokusai's self-portraits or something. I don't know.
Well, what's the backstory? If Dave does it, it's something that is now immortalized. I don't know. What are we reading into this?
Time for a self-portrait, someone says.
I did one of those once.
You did?
Sure. It's when I was in that Baron group, when the Baron group was active.
Yeah.
They had what they call a Baron Exchange.
Yeah.
4 times a year, every 3 months. They're still doing it. Actually, they're up to number 89 now or something. Whatever.
Wow.
It's on the baronforum.org website.
Yeah.
And I think exchange number 3 or 4 or 5, or one of the early exchanges when I was still participating, the theme was self-portrait. So I did. I made one.
Cool.
It's in there on the Baron Forum website somewhere.
It'll be in the catalog soon. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it won't be. It can't be because I did it as a reduction print.
What?
A reduction print means you start with a piece of bare wood and you print a flat, smooth, light color.
Huh.
Then imagine that was going to be a portrait. Okay, you've got a piece of bare wood printed in a very smooth gray.
Yeah.
Then you cut, for example, a head shape on shoulders and take away the background.
Okay.
Then you print it again with another level up of color. And you can now see a head shape against
Yeah.
the background. Then you cut away some more wood that
Yeah.
might leave eyes, nose, and whatever is the shape. Print it again with a slightly darker color. And you can see what's happening. It builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up. But you can't go backwards because
So
you've
you
cut
only
away
make
your block.
one edition
Well,
of it.
you make one edition. However many you
Yeah.
decide to make, that's what you make.
Got it.
It's a well-known thing. I don't do it in normal sense. I think the myth out there is that Picasso invented this technique, but I don't know or care about that.
Yeah.
And among Westerners in this field, it's actually quite common, quite popular. You know? It absolves them from the responsibility of having to ever do more prints. You know?
So there's a real limited edition.
There is actually out there. There's a real limited edition David Bull thing. It's in one of the Baron Forum exchanges. Suka-san, hello. They're not numbered, but there's only 30, whatever it is. I think we had to send in 31 prints for exchange.
Oh, wow.
Good morning, Suka-san. Hello.
おはようございます。
Don't just walk by. Say hello.
どこだ？あ、ここだ。おはようございます。
おはようって。
おはよう。あ、おはようじゃないか。イブニング。
Good morning, Suga-san. おはよう、Suga-san. Bye bye, Suga-san. Careful, Kevin. Suga-san's behind you.
Have we got another meme here?
Oh, no.
That's how they start. There's only one thing to do, man. Get to the lawyer and change your name
Yeah.
legally. That's it. That's
really
the only way.
the option.
My mother will send a stuffed toy for Kevin. Just gonna grow and grow. Are you
Oh,
wearing socks?
no.
Is Kevin wearing socks?
Kevin is wearing socks.
Well, the internet's a fun place. Well, human beings are fun creatures. What, have you found that print? Are you looking for it? Is that what's happening? Or someone else?
Someone found something from the Baron forum, but it wasn't that print. So I was just scrolling to see if that print was on the link.
It's baronforum.org, and it's in the section called Exchange Galleries, or they call the print exchanges. And I participated in the first few of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe.
Oh,
I don't know if their website is still in operation or if it's collapsed from age long ago. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it's out there, yeah. A Dave Bull original reduction print. You know,
Yeah.
Using Photoshop source material. I don't think I even have it. Oh yeah, I've got a copy of the Exchange Folio, so the copy that came back to me.
yeah. Can you let us know how many people are in here today? I feel like I'm seeing some new faces, so I'm curious how many.
Seeing new faces.
Or seeing new names.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Like usual, 95, around 100.
It's funny, it's always very stable. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down. It's interesting, you know. There must be people joining and people leaving, and
Mhm.
people just watch for a while and that's enough.
Yeah.
It seems to balance. It's like the Patreon campaign. That's interesting. That
Yeah.
has stabilized just at around 500.
Yeah.
It hasn't
Up
changed
and
for
down,
months and
very
months and
little,
months and
yeah.
months and months. Interesting.
9,500. That's a surprising jump.
That kind of stress I don't want, no thanks.
I saw a headline. Some other Twitch streamer has so many followers. I didn't read the article, but I saw he took a 2-day break to go participate in an electronics convention that's going on right now called
Yeah.
E3.
Yeah, yeah.
And he lost 40,000 subscribers because he took a 2-day break.
What do you mean lost subscribers?
They
People
just unsubscribed
unsubscribe?
because he was gone for 2 days.
Whatever. I mean,
Whatever.
what can I say? I mean, if that's the level of
Connection.
connection, yeah, then forget it. Who cares? You know,
Yeah.
who cares?
But he must have tons in order to be able to
Yeah.
lose 40,000.
I mean, I'm saying that's what we're not in any way trying to build those numbers, because when you got 1 million people watching it, there's no connection anymore.
Yeah.
So it's meaningless. So
Mhm.
I'm not interested in. I'm not aspiring to that or interested
Right.
in that or whatever.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. And so funny story. Nice. Those numbers just meaningless because it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
Also, how many of those are probably robots anyway? I mean, who knows? You know?
Yeah. Yep, it was Ninja.
This whole social media thing, you know, it's whatever. I think our level of is just about right. We have nice engagement. We know who a lot of these people are. They know who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't aspire to any of those numbers. Not at all. Man, I get the emails from all those people who are running like co-op channels on YouTube and stuff like that. Almost every day I have to delete them, you know.
Yeah.
Grow your subscriber base, you know, work with cooperation with us. Because they've seen that we have reasonable number of subscribers, 50,000 plus, and they want to get into that. you
Yeah.
know. So no thanks. They just go straight into spam, you know. We can help you with your YouTube social marketing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Spam, click.
Yeah.
He wants money from us.
like people know more about it than I do. I was just repeating the headline I saw. No expert on Ninja, so I'm sure wrong information. Sounds like it was people who let their subscriptions lapse or something during those 2 days. Afro Lewis asks, if 10,000 people were watching you right now, would you get a little nervous? Would that make you more nervous?
No, I don't think so. I mean, what can I say? We've had a TV experience. I've been on live NHK TV a number of times with literally 10 million people watching.
Yeah.
And I know 10 million people are watching. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not specifically a stage fright person. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't feel if this stream had 10,000 people watching, would I behave differently? I don't know. I think maybe yes. I think maybe I would disengage a bit more because I can't talk to 10,000 people. You know, it just becomes meaningless. Here, I can actually answer one of these questions.
Like
I know
this,
who
yeah.
Kantar is and stuff like that. So I'm feeling a bit more personally engaged with this group of people who are here.
Yeah.
If I knew it was whatever number you mentioned, 10,000, there's no way I can feel personally engaged with that. And that becomes a big stage now where all you see is you're in the brightly lit stage and you look out onto that sea of darkness.
Yeah.
Because you can no longer see individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, done that. I played flute in concert halls and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you can't think about those people. You just simply, you can't even see them. You just look, just do your job. There's my
Right.
music and you play your music, you know. So it becomes a much less connection.
Right.
You really have to separate yourself. Here I am and just do what I am and I don't even know who's watching. So I don't know.
Kantar says basically the same thing you did. If we had 10,000 people in here, there's no way they'd be able to keep up with the chat.
Well, if they were chatting, I mean,
Yeah,
so
if
I mean,
everyone's in here chatting, that would be pretty
I think
tough.
what would happen then, you and I would sit here talking,
Yeah.
and basically it would be about Dave and Cameron. We would look at each other and focus
Yeah.
on each other, talk with each other, and if anybody happens to be listening, that's up to them, you know.
Yeah.
It makes like a radio call-in show or something, you know.
Yeah.
It's just meaningless. Good morning, Teiko-san. Hello.
おはようございます.
Careful of the cable there, please. I'm sorry, it should have been on the floor. Sorry. I got the cable. Look at that. Is there enough slack? Have we got there? What?
Yeah.
She's on. Whatever. Oh, I know it's up. It's hung up on the wall
On
there
the
behind the
box,
box. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, pull it
Can I
down.
pull that down?
Yeah, please. Thank you. Sorry, Teiko-san. Teiko-san, before I forget, I know there's a message. The people who are in the last print party today, we got a print party this morning for 1, and then there's a party this afternoon for 4 people. They're going to come in yukata. So we need to prepare taski. I think we have 5. Shiba-san said we've got 5 taski.
Last time she said that's hers, so she
There, I think
she gave another new one.
I think there's 5 there,
There means where?
hanging on their apron rack.
Oh really?
I
Okay.
think so. And just to let you know. So.
Last time I asked her and she said that's hers, so she took to her home. But
Okay, well, good. Then this is why I'm bringing it up. Let's check. We've got lots of time. I believe they're still there, but let's check.
Treadmill 2 had to speak in Japanese to 300 Japanese Tupperware salespeople. That sounds like an interesting story.
Well, if you speak Japanese, it's okay. If you don't
Yeah.
speak Japanese, you have a problem. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the background here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know.
Tell us more, Treadmill.
And what's your level of competence? Of course, you know.
Kantar, how do you even say Tupperware in Japanese? I've heard tappa.
Kana so
Yeah,
papa desu.
they just
So,
drop the
it's
way
easy,
part.
easy.
It's just tappa.
But because of the confusion, like, wear sounds like clothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
An audience of salesmen, that's a pretty easy audience because they're bored out of their minds and all they want is just to get through this. They're not exactly.
Attentive.
Hmm.
They're asking who is that speaking English in the background. That's Teiko-san.
Teiko-san. So,
I think she's been in here before.
she doesn't usually come and say hello on the screen, though. You know, so
too shy.
too shy, she says. So. She's the most fluently bilingual member of the staff here. You know,
Yeah.
bar none, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
I think so. Treadmill says he is a guide and translator for the group, but My Japanese wasn't quite up to it. Well, sounds like you made it through. That's good. Let's see. New person. Nekiits. Nikis? Maybe? Dear Dave, I found your YouTube channel yesterday and only watched a few videos, but yet there were wise thoughts I found so useful. Do you think that a craftsman can learn faster if there is no money involved in the art? Where is... I guess that's the first question. Do you think... Or did you find more motivation when you were selling the prints, or did you find it, like, in the early days when you were doing it more as a hobby for yourself, I think is what they're getting at.
I'm not sure what to say. The quick and easy answer is once you got 2 kids here and I had rent to pay and stuff like that, you have got to get going and you got to get good.
You've got to have money.
Absolutely. The point, there's 2 things to say though. You've got to be productive.
Mm.
Whether that means good, I mean, there's 2 different things, right?
Yeah.
Productive meaning getting stuff out into the market and getting paid for it. That may be something that's you're doing a good job or not. The 2
Yeah.
things are not. They could be mutually exclusive. You know. Craftsmen here that we've talked to, like Kubota-san, the older guy here who learned quickly. He was thrown into a workshop, learn, go, not given any instruction, and he had to be productive right from day one through his own, you know. So yeah, so if you're in that kind of a commercial environment, you have to get good and get productive as quickly as possible.
Mm.
So in that sense, that's a wonderful thing. Someone who's doing this as a hobbyist would not see that as a bonus. They would see that as a negative thing.
Right.
So I'm really not sure what to say. I'm in both sides of this. Sorry.
Yes, you're right.
It's okay. I thought so.
There's 4.
Okay. Thank you. So remember, I'm working in both fields. I want to be good at this for personal, emotional, and
Fulfillment,
selfish
is that right?
reasons. But also, I have to make a living at this. So both things are true at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what else I can say. You know, when I did it as a hobby in Canada, there was totally no pressure or no stress. I was doing it just, ooh, look at that, this is fun, let's try this, let's try again.
Mm.
So in that sense, it was a very sort of
Yeah.
light-hearted thing to do. But once I quit my job and came over here and said, let's think about this, then the screws are on, you know. So I'm not quite sure what the question is, I'm sorry, you know.
Ryan Osiris. That's a good one. Says, I'm glad to see Dave is making the Great Wave great again today. It's a huge wave.
Don't start that stuff, I can't handle it. I was laughing too much the other day on this. Actually, what I was wanting to do when I get a bit of time for it, perhaps later this week, is a few months back I put up a YouTube video that was Twitch highlights.
Right.
And I should have been doing that more frequently, but maybe it's time to do another one because I haven't had time to do a real YouTube video yet, so I should do some Twitch highlights. But the Twitch highlight video I showed didn't show any of the chat because it was just, you know, it was just the stored video.
Right.
So what I wanted to do now is for the next level of the Twitch highlight thing, what I thought about doing was showing the video stream recorded, and then because the chat doesn't show, do it with a scrolling thing at the bottom, whatever people are typing on the bottom. And then including that thing that happened the other day, 3-4 days ago, when we were, the Twitter parody was happening, you know.
That was pretty funny.
So I might do that if I get it in a minute.
Cool.
Good morning, Koizumi-san. Hello. What's the t-shirt there? What's the jacket? I can't see the back. Yeah, no, the back. Here.
Ushiro.
Back.
I don't know what it is.
Pop idol.
A Papa Idol. Okay.
Idol. オタクです。
Idol. Oh, it is 9:35. I don't know if
Yeah, it
you're
is.
in a rush anywhere or.
I'm not. They're
stick
going to
around
handle
for
the
a few
party,
minutes.
so a couple more minutes here.
Okay.
They're going to have at least competent staff today, and there's only one person in the first 10 o'clock party, so I'm in no rush to get out there. As long as they don't trip over my Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
出口さん、
Hey,
旗は雨降ってるんですけど旗入り。
でもその雨の中でもいいよ。
はい、わかりました。はい、
でもポスターは雨のためのポスターでしょ。
わかりました。
旗はそのまま。
はい。
普通。Is it raining then?
On and
So-
off. Sounds like it is again though.
Well, that's what we get in this year,
Yep.
this season.
梅雨に入りました. We are officially in the rainy season. It's government declares when it is sakura season and when it is rainy season. Like it has authority over.
Well, not the no, it's the meteorological agency.
Yeah.
You know, actually, somebody explained it, but there's a reason for this. There's a legal, and there's lots of stuff that's dependent on it. People are waiting for that specific declaration. Construction companies, how much they pay people, and who's working inside and outside, and whether road construction projects can go ahead and stuff like this. There's actually a lot riding on that sort of thing.
Interesting.
So the meteorological agency is the go-to people as
Yeah.
far as the legal definition of what's rainy season and what's not, what's winter, what's summer, stuff like
Yeah.
that. There was actually a sensible reason for this. You know. I can't remember it well enough to be able to explain it well. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not just some random, Koizumi-san.
Koizumi-san! Mata.
そうです
Ken Hallett asks for a reminder. What was the job that Dave quit, and what made him feel he could pull the trigger and move to Japan and do printmaking full time?
Well, it's all on the website. There's I have a miniature biography thing on the
Mhm.
website which explains all the stuff I was doing the years. It's the route that brought me from, literally it's a miniature autobiography
Yeah.
that has all these things laid out. It's not on the, it is, it's linked from the woodblock.com website in the newsletter section. And, I don't know, whatever. I had different careers, did a whole bunch of different stuff in
Yeah.
my teens and 20s. Some happy, some fulfilling, some less so. It's a long story.
Yeah.
With 1 minute to go on the stream, I don't think we can address
Yeah.
that.
Oh. What was the question we had at the end of the stream yesterday?
Huh? What, something
Was
else?
it yesterday? Maybe. No, I wasn't running the stream yesterday. A few days ago. Never mind. It's
Hmm?
probably long gone. There was some question. We said we'll answer it later because we were.
Like I'm going to
saying
remember that?
Yeah. Never mind.
The question right now is the previous jobs. If you go to the newsletter section of the woodblock.com website, there's a newsletter and it was called Hyakunin Issho, 100 people together, Hyakunin Issho. And in that newsletter there was a series of stories. It was a series called From Halifax to Hamra.
Yeah.
Halifax was where I was born and
Right.
Hamra was where I was living at the time I wrote that series of stories.
Yes.
And that's the mini autobiography that talks about these kind of questions, what I was doing, how I got here, what was going on.
Right.
And it might be difficult to find. Somebody going to link it or not, I don't know.
Someone found it.
Good. What, the Halifax to Hamra
Think so.
series?
Oh no, this one's an introduction on your Asahi Net, English-born Canadian, resident of Tokyo, making a living as a woodblock printmaker.
Well, that's the overview page or something
Mhm.
from the original 1996 website, I think.
Yeah. Looks like it's been updated since then, since it has your projects up
Ah,
until
yeah,
2011, 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, scroll down for the Halifax one on this next page.
Bingo.
They've
Okay,
got
there
it.
you go.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Historia. Safia was asking about meeting Jed. That's what it was a few days ago. Yeah.
What do you mean, meeting Jed? How did that start? You
How
mean?
did that start?
Well, it's all up to 100% Jed. Jed wrote to me, proposed the idea to me. I didn't know Jed or anything.
Yeah.
And he came up with the idea himself, totally his own idea, for doing the thing that we now call Ukiyo-e Heroes.
Yeah.
He proposed it to me. I rejected it at first, but he convinced me to do it.
Yeah. I love your description of his first design when it showed up. And you're like, "What is this?" Because
Well,
it was just a really, really rough sketch.
Yes, so it was a scribble. I had I didn't even understand what he was doing.
Yeah.
I've still got it. So. It was just nothing. But whatever. I'm not sure what else there is to say. Jed pitched the idea to me enthusiastically and a bit unintelligibly at first. I rejected it
Yeah.
because of many. We've told the story actually many times about
Yeah.
this. And he talked me into it, and I agreed to come aboard, and it's changed both of our lives.
Yeah.
And the documentary addresses this a little bit,
Yeah.
but really at some point we should at some point when he and I are together, when he's visiting, we should sit down in front of the camera and just chat about how it got started.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that would be a fun video.
Yeah. And we will all be full of each. I can see the way that's going to go. I'll be saying, no, I had nothing to do. It's all Jed's idea. It's just Jed. And Jed say, no, I'm not responsible for anything. It's all David's because of David's
It's
wonderful.
power.
We'll just be sitting there like reverse praising each other, and people are just like, barf. Give me a break, you guys. You know. Let me see some blood. Let me hear about the stories, the conflicts. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I see some blood.
There aren't many conflicts between us in the sense of, we've never been angry with each other or shouting at each other. We've sometimes been disappointed in each other. He's disappointed in me many, many, many times. And another part of it is because he's a sort of the artistic type rather than the mechanical type like me. He tends to be more sensitive, so whenever there's criticism going, it's uneven. In the sense that I can take it, I don't care, and that he sometimes can't because he's a bit of a different type of temperament from me. So in that sense, our relationship is a bit unbalanced in that sense. I can't easily shoot at him and criticize him, where I would like to be more critical of the work, but it's difficult to because he is, from my point of view, he's too sensitive, and from his point of view, he's just normal. You know, he's a creative artist. You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes things get a bit iffy under those circumstances. You know? Because I'm sort of really thick-skinned, and it doesn't matter what people say to me. I would look at you, Jed, just come on, let me tell you, this is no good, this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But he can't do that because of his personality. So that's just can't be helped, So. He is a real nice guy. He's probably here on the stream. I don't know. He was here yesterday. So. Real nice guy, openly honest, super friendly, super, what's the word, helpful to people. He's,
Generous? Is that the word?
Yeah. I mean, he's a really practicing Christian, and that in that community, you're really sort of taught to be generous, and he's over generous. I think he is as much as he can to help people around him, to the extent that it sometimes hurts himself, both financially and emotionally. Because he's such a really, really, really good guy, a good person at heart. I think maybe we should move along here. I've got to get out into the shop and get my actual day rolling along.
Okay.
What we'll be doing today is Friday, right?
Friday.
So where do we stand? Tomorrow then I'll be back here at the bench doing this, I guess, unless there's something else, sizing or whatever, coming up. Tomorrow I'll be doing a bunch of noise at the beginning and then quieter at the end, just as we've been doing today. And once this is finished then, another day or so, I'm not sure what to do with the streams because my job function, my next priority job that I got to spend time on is downstairs. I don't quite know. I can't do streaming downstairs, because it's just such random, we're going to be laying a floor and stuff. What am I going to do, So I don't know. Again, just compartmentalize it, I guess. Find a carving job, maybe get back to some of the octopus work or something and do that in these mornings and then get downstairs at 9:30. I don't know. Anyway, I won't abandon streaming. Of course, we'll still be here. But for the next week or so, after this is done, it might be scrappy. It might be odds and ends and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright. They're all excited. I think the stream's been up 104 minutes. Is that a new record? We broke 100 minutes.
No, I think the record is over 3 hours,
Yeah.
right? So we should think about doing another one of those,
Oh yeah.
That would be cool. I need to think of it.
They'll say we should first get the first one in the, in the
Well,
shop.
no, the priority wasn't to sell it. The priority was to make a fun stream making it. Also, too, I should mention, I realize now we made a real big mistake on that.
Oh.
The 3-hour stream where we made the woodblock print. Looking at the analytics now, it shows whatever, I forget the latest number, it's whatever, 50,000 people watching it.
Yeah.
Over half of those disappear in the first 30 seconds.
Oh, I remember you talking about
The first 30 seconds we screwed up because we didn't know it was going to be a thing that was going to live on YouTube and be forever and ever. And you and I were just joking around for the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We didn't show what was going on. And we lose.
Instead of jumping right
So whatever
in.
number you see in the YouTube channel is meaningless because half of them are gone before 1 minute is up.
Yeah.
So next time we do that, we have to get it ready before we actually hit the start button. And we have to be ready with an intro when that thing goes live. Good afternoon, this is Woodblock Printmaker David Bowl. Here's what we're going to do today. Sit down and watch. We have to try and go from the beginning.
Yeah.
because it just comes in at a random moment,
Mhm.
and I really screwed that up.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. People who know it's there, people who find it, they find it. You know, the
Yeah.
value is there. So yeah, what we could ask actually too, in the idea of doing another single stream start to finish, we need an interesting design that is interesting, and that is maybe 2 or 3 blocks that can be done in
Yeah.
one session
Yeah.
without a tiny bunch of detail. It would take me 6 weeks to carve.
Right.
If anybody has an idea for a design for this, and it could be something original, or maybe it's Jed, or maybe
Yeah.
it's somebody else, I don't know, I don't care.
Hmm.
If somebody has ideas on this, what would be a suitable image for use for another all-in-one, start to finish in one session stream that we could do in 90 minutes? That's an in-joke, people. So,
There. Ooh, nice suggestion, Kevin B. 1976. 24-hour stream?
no,
No,
thank
thank
you, no
you.
thank you, no thank you. I don't do all-nighters anymore. The
No.
last all-nighter I did would have been decades ago. I don't do that stuff anymore. No. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
off. Done for tonight.
All right.
Back tomorrow to finish off this block, and then after that, I can't see where we're going.
Okay.
Kirei de shou, Sugi-san. Isn't that beautiful? Hee hee. Let's get this
All right.
stream off. I gotta
See you
show you
later.
these prints.
Bye.
Like,